The good thing is within the East African community, we already have a single market for locally manufactured products, which means you're not paying customs on them, you're not paying excise duty on them, and you're not paying VAT on them. That is for the Kenyan side. The question is, do we have similar mechanisms across the member countries? It's a matter of moving to the next frontier to ensure that we're able to capture those possibilities. For my colleagues, practice and regulation of products, it's been a headache, and I would say even at the Kenyan level we still have that headache. And the conversation has always been, should the regulator of product be the same regulator of practice? Currently we have our bill that actually, unfortunately, US moved to be passed in Parliament and the President assented to it. Ours has been in the Parliament from 2022. It's still in the Senate. We are hoping it will pass. But in terms of practice, there is a split. The split is to form a pharmacy practice bill and a health products and technologies regulatory authority bill. So then there will be regulation of products and regulation of practice separately. Hopefully we are able to now standardize practice and have it actually regulated as a practice, not as a trade. Because the one key thing that has been coming as a challenge is community pharmacies are trading, not practicing. And how then does that become regulated? So that is the only piece I want to mention. Then in terms of veterinary medicine bill, how people left, the regulation is a headache. They don't have the capacity. And now when we're looking at One Health approach to regulation of medical products and technologies, they're saying, should we come back? The problem is the law now exists and establishes the agency. So do you cancel the law, or what happens for them to come back? It's a hassle. So definitely I would recommend for my veterinary colleagues and friends, evaluate to see how would that work and what is the implication in terms of long term. That is sharing experiences. But in terms of the program, that was not my conversation now here with you guys. It was to talk about what is the road ahead, what are we hoping for, and what does that mean for us. And I look at it in, I would say, 3 different buckets. And when I talk about 3 different buckets is, we're keen on engaging with Uganda as part of the whole ecosystem of what we're doing with African pharmaceutical networks. The only way we can do that is to work with people who are in Uganda. We are a network. We are not a David. We are not a Kenyan entity. The network is as strong as its constituent parts. What does that mean? The professionals who are here, who are in this room today, we want you to be part of that network. And actually, as we have been reviewing our operational mechanisms and everything, we are rolling out a structured membership mechanism. We would be keen on having you be part of that journey. And to make that operational and structured in a robust way, we are honored to have Dr. Hilary Nasolo, who is actually in the room. I don't know where she is at the back. She's going to be our lead focal person, supporting our engagements here. But I will be more than glad to come here as much as possible to ensure that we're able to start the journey. That is the kind of starting point for our engagement and seeing how we can move into the next frontier. So let us, the networks, be as strong as its members, and I'm hoping on you being part of that community with us. We talk about the constituent parts beyond the individuals to the businesses and the system players and the regulators. It is about us coming together and saying, how do we shape that next frontier with the entities from an organizational level? I talked about our work we do in terms of supporting companies, businesses, and everything. We have regulatory consultants, PV consultants, distributors of medicines. In my case, I don't think it is in my interest to come here and touch regulatory consultancy work in Uganda fully as they did. And it's easier for me to work with Angela, it's easier for me to work with Farida. So then when somebody is reaching out to us and they're looking at doing some work here, how do we support you to be able to thrive in your space? You know it better, you do it better than I do. And that becomes an enabler itself. So don't look at MBN as the person coming in to compete with us and age us out of our market. No, this is your market. We work together to make it work for all of us and to make it thrive for everybody that we are aspiring for. So let us look at it from that standpoint. Skills gap is a challenge, and one of the key things that when we designed our courses was to guarantee that we are not getting faculty who are not practicing. And when they are practicing, we have to actually do our own quality assessment to guarantee they meet the quality attributes for the trainings. So we'll be keen, and actually I would say I'm more than glad to have a conversation with you and follow up from an NDA standpoint to how programs are accredited from an NDA from accreditation, so that then Does it meet what the aspirations of the agency are in imparting the right skills for the professionals? That would be what we are looking at. At the current moment, our programs are accredited by the International Pharmaceutical Federation and the Pharmacy and Poison Board. But then we're still in the process of how do we ensure that it reflects the reality in the respective market. That is an opportunity for us to build skill and to engage. Industry is part of our journey in that. They are the people who are employing and working with these people. We need to ensure that happens. So that will be the next frontier. Having that plan, how do we get the programs accredited, being made available to people, build that capacity where people need it to happen. Final piece is more on what are we going to do next. You know, sometimes somebody comes into your house, you have a good party, you've danced, that disappears, right? What is next? What is next is we have a framework that we normally look at in the engagement and the conversation we have. You can only dream based on what you know. Therefore, awareness. We've started having a couple of webinar conversations and everything. We will do more of these, share more information, so share more resources. For those who are not engaging with on us on LinkedIn and the social media channels, we'll share those. And also webinars we'll be having as frequent as we can. That is the first point to know where is the industry going? Where are the opportunities? What can I do? How can I position myself? Those will be ongoing conversations. We are hoping that you'll be part of that journey with us. So from the informational standpoint, that is the starting point. Beyond that, we are keen on having a series of continuous engagement like such kind of industry discussion forums. In the Kenyan context, we normally have at least twice or thrice every year for the last 3 years. We're hoping we can build that culture. And the essence of it is easier for me to call Adrian if I've met Adrian in an event. It's easier for me to talk to Dr. Eva because I've met her somewhere. At least I know the face behind that person. It is very difficult when the only place I knew you was a social media channel. I start by introducing myself, and therefore we end up in people working in their own silos without engagement. We're hoping we will have more of these, and those opportunities will open opportunities for us. So the first thing is the awareness. The next level is empowerment. Because once you know there's an opportunity in pharmacovigilance and the key things that need to happen, how do I get the skills to practice? People ask about the courses that are available. Beyond our courses, there are other courses that are existing. Some of them will be able to share, but I would also want for those who are interested in pharmacovigilance. Uppsala Monitoring Center has resources on their website. It's a WHO accredited pharmacovigilance monitoring system with resources. How much of that information is available and can you use? The most, I would say, the global benchmark on good pharmacovigilance practice is the European Medicines Agency, GVP, Good Pharmacovigilance Practices. Probably get to review those guidelines so that when you're getting into even a training, you already know what does good look like and how do I then build capacity towards that. So be able to help and share that beyond the trainings and engagement, empowerment. Then the last thing is practice. Our goal and our hope is that we practice what we preach. And we try the best we can on our end to practice it. We encourage you and we challenge you every other day. Help that person do it better. Because when they do it better, we're all getting better and we're serving our people the best way we can. The journey has started and I'm hoping we make the best of it as we move forward. Thank you, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you here with us as we come to the end of the session. So, my good friend, is it okay? Or another time?